Oh, come on, kid. You asked me that already. Now quit wasting my time.
Hey, you can't talk to my son that way. Who do you think you are?
I'm Plankton, you old hag, and your son smells like boogers.
Hey, you can't talk to my wife that way. What do you think this is?
I think it's time for you to lose some weight, fatty. That's what it is.
Hey, you can't talk to my grandson like that. Someone ought to put you in a mental hospital.
Someone should put you in a box floating down the river, Grandma.
Dude, put that thing away. They're like children here.
Well, here we go again. You know, we have another streaming site removing content. And basically, you know, this is just getting ridiculous now. You know, you're taking off stuff, you know, it's a cartoon. It's comedic. It makes light of situations that are going on or maybe something that hasn't happened yet. Some craziness.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
That's what comedy is. You know, craziness of situations that, you know, of everyday nature. We have to have some levity to the situations that goes on. You know, Roger Rabbit said one time, if you don't have a sense of humor, you're better off dead. You know, hey, is he right? Because basically it's starting to get that way. You know, you're touting censorship, book burning, you're removing stuff on there. And this is one series that's, you know, at my heart. I love this series. Some of the newer stuff is okay, but the older stuff is fantastic. Spongebob Squarepants episode pulled over storyline concerns. And this is on Paramount Plus, and you can't purchase it on Amazon. Supposedly you can't purchase it on Amazon. So I would say go out there, get physical media. And I keep touting this. Go out and buy physical media before they remove it. Because basically they'll make it go away. You know, they did the same thing with certain Dr. Seuss books. The Spongebob Squarepants episode, Midlife Crustacean, is out of rotation and not available to stream on Paramount Plus or purchase digitally on services like Amazon. Another Spongebob episode, Quarantine Crab, also appears to have been shelved due to plotline similarities to COVID-19 pandemic. This is off of IGN that wrote this. The season 3 episode, Midlife Crustacean, which I just, before making this episode, just watched again recently because I was able to find it somewhere. First aired Nickelodeon in 2003 and features Mr. Krabs in a midlife crisis, which was hysterical. SpongeBob and Patrick try to help him out by showing Mr. Krabs a good time. Yeah, and it was funny. You know, they said, oh, we're going out. You know, and they went to this place, the big place that looked like a nightclub. It says, The Wash. Turned out to be a laundromat. They said, oh, yeah, we're going to, you know, and they went to all these places, which was like, to Mr. Krab was really boring. And at the end, they're like, oh, I'm going home, you know, and he's like saying, well, guess you're going to, you know, Patrick goes, guess you're going to miss the panty raid. Oh, we're going to the, yeah, we know this perfect place to get panties. And they go get the panties, and it turns out to be Mama Krabs. And Mama Krabs flicks on the light and punishes Mr. Krabs by sending him to his room. How better than that? It's funny. It's a joke. You know, if you think you said, oh, yeah, they're going to panty raid, you know, they're going to... Yeah. This is Patrick and SpongeBob. You think actually Patrick and SpongeBob would go end up something like out of Revenge of the Nerds or something of that nature with a panty raid? Really? You know they were going to get in some sort of trouble in a comedic way. A representative from Nickelodeon said Midlife Crustacean has been out of rotation since 2018, following a standards review in which we determined some of the elements were not kid appropriate. When asked which scenes caused controversy and if Nickelodeon ever considered a content warning in front of the episodes instead of removing it completely, a rep said no comment. The scene that may have led to the episode's removal could be the scene where Patrick suggests the panty raid, which leads SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs, which we talked about, stealing her underwear. It turns out that it was Mr. Krabs' mom's house. The mom catches the three in the act and sends Mr. Krabs to his childhood room for the rest of the night. The two SpongeBob episodes are usually paired up with another to fill out the traditional 30-minute television spot. The companion episode, The Great Snails Race, remains available to stream on Paramount. Both, and this is an update, the Snails Race and Midlife were removed. Snails Race was removed as well. They removed the entire episode. I mean, this is ridiculous. And you're wondering, Paramount Plus removed it, considering the issues that they've been going in, and their stock is tanking. Last I hear, I think by the time we open, I mean, they've lost 50% of their value by the time we hit Monday. By the time, well, we record this over the weekend. By the time we hit the new week, before getting into April, I mean, hey, you know, you have situations where you're trying to bring people in and you just start to censor. We just talked about an episode, the WWE being old episodes being removed, matches being removed from the WWE section of Peacock. You know, and I said this once and I'll say it again. These companies don't really understand that we can make the decision for ourselves. You don't need to sit there and remove content just because a small, minute group of people says, I don't like this. I don't really like the content of this episode. Then don't watch it. How, you know,
don't have the role models that they used to have because the most incredibly depressed, mentally ill weirdos have taken complete control of our pop culture and they're ruining it. You want to pump out more soy boys that look like Will Wheaton? This is the inevitable result of all of this.
How many times have we have to say this? Don't watch the content if you don't like it. If you know it's going to trigger you, don't watch it. Don't disparage someone else from seeing it that maybe wants to see it and enjoy this stuff. Oh, we got to save the children. Who made you high and almighty to protect the children? Because there's a dozen stuff that you could be doing to help children and you're not. Do we need to go down the list, starting with a particular movie that was out with 10-year-olds gyrating? Where were you with that? Oh, but it's a black woman that wrote it. That basically she's from a Senegalian. That basically she's proud and stuff like that. Yeah, that's fine. But when you shot stuff like that, you know, you have to think for yourself. You could have done the movie with older girls and not done a scene like what they did. And then, of course, all the situations that are going on of the children that are being kidnapped all over the world, that have been put into slavery, sex, and of course, the biggest thing is how the age of consent laws are being reduced throughout the world, including the law that they pushed in California recently. Where were people yelling about that? I mean, it just, the minds just, boom, it just explodes at this point. It just literally explodes. Because basically, you know, you try to say, well, we're trying to help, you know, children on this end, and, you know, but yet you're not. You're not! It's a cartoon that makes jokes about the world. Once again, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Don't take it away from someone else that enjoys stuff like this and say, well, you're not allowed to see it because I don't like it. What kind of world we're moving into now that basically allows this? What happened to all the stuff in the Constitution, freedom of speech, all of our freedoms right now? that just basically is being torn apart by a minute amount of people that just doesn't care. They're not fans. They're never going to like your product. If people complained about a meat product being released and they're vegan, they're never going to buy your product because it's made out of meat. It has meat in it. They don't eat. That's the same thing like this. They don't like SpongeBob. They don't watch cartoons. You've seen what's happened in the comic book industry. You've seen what's happened in all these fan shows and movies and TV series. You know, and then they're attacking anime. They're trying to get anime censored. We just talked about how in Spain that basically they've literally don't want Dragon Ball aired there on a particular television network because of certain laws that have been passed there. They say, well, besides it being expensive, no, you were to make money because Dragon Ball is popular in that part of the world. But no, we can't have that. We have animes like No Game, No Life and Death Note and several others banned from several countries because people just think that it causes suicide, that it's basically child pornography. Stay away from all this. If you don't like this, stay away. Close yourself out in a cave. Because basically you don't like any of this stuff, then don't watch it. Stay away from it. I like SpongeBob. I enjoy SpongeBob. Every once in a while, I'll pop one on. I have a couple of the DVD discs, and I'll pop it in and I'll say, I want a good laugh today. And I could tout back a couple of episodes. Like the Ghost Pirate episodes. I love the Ghost Pirate episodes. I love the episodes where using your imagination. And that's what this is. Imagination. These people don't have imagination. This is why they complain. This is why some of them write stuff that just basically is pure garbage. We've already seen this in the Marvel DC comic universe. All the crap that's out now. When will this end? When, as in one cartoon used to say, when will the hurting stop? So you've made it to this part of the video. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for subscribing, liking, sharing this video. And if you haven't, please do hit that subscription button. Please comment below. Let me know how you feel about this. How do you feel that they removed a couple episodes of SpongeBob Squarepants? They're not going to stop there. They're going to pull more of them off. And they're going to pull more off of other cartoons, other episodes of stuff. And, they touted that, hey, listen, it's sexist, racist, and all this stuff. And it's not. It's taken away from things. So once again, thank you for watching. Hit that notification bell, when new episodes of Man with the Show air here on Q2Cast TV. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.